Bridget.
All right, so let's start. Yeah, welcome to our live channel, the very first on this channel. And Madam is a pro, but I'm a beginner. That's why I said you should pardon me. You should pardon me, okay? So my name is Bridget. If you haven't seen me or haven't watched my videos before, and I am a nurse. I work in the NHS, and I'm married with two kids. All these will be relevant because of the topic we are discussing. And I will allow my guest to introduce herself.
Hi everyone. My name is Mhercie. I'm also working with the NHS. I'm not married. I live alone, and like she says, it's relevant to the topic. That's why I'm mentioning that. I'm also a YouTuber as well, and I'm privileged for Bridget inviting me to her channel and to share my experience with you guys.
Thank you for honoring my invitation.
That's okay.
A pro back up. Okay.
Bridget,
Mercy, I have a challenge. The voice keeps repeating and it messes with the what I'm hearing. So I don't know if I have to restart or do something.
you can use an earpiece. Have you got an earpiece or your normal microphone?
But is it possible for me to close it and come back and see how it goes?
Have you opened it? Is it open on two devices? The live.
No, currently it's just one.
Okay. Right. You can rejoin. Read we are here for you.
Yeah, let me rejoin and see because I can't even see comments or anything yet.
Okay. No
Yeah,
worries.
thank you. Sorry. But when I click, it says end. If I end it, can I come back to it?
I think so. We are here. Isn't this romantic?
I know, right?
You are stressing. Isn't this romantic?
Mhm. I'm confused because it says end. If I end the stream, can I come back to it?
I think you should be able to if you've got the link. But I'm not sure why. Connect your speaker phone to your phone and see if you can still hear yourself.
Okay, let me get.
Someone says we get audio
Okay,
perfect. We can
okay.
actually hear you perfectly. Oh.
So
I,
it's
I think
only my end.
I think yeah, I think it's the end.
Why is this happening to me? Okay, just a minute. Right. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Should we continue?
Yeah, if you're good, because
Let's
we can.
continue. All right. Okay, so let's continue. So, as I mentioned earlier, I work in the NHS. I'm married with two kids, and yeah, I'm a nurse, right? I said that. And Mercy has mentioned she's single. Today, we just want to discuss something like our income and expenditure, right? How much we receive and how much we spend as a family and as a person living alone, so that it will guide other people when they relocate to UK or those already in UK. Some of the easy ways you can find, some of the tips you can find in this video will guide you towards your savings, will help you to plan as a family or as a single person. Basic tips that will guide you, basic principles that will guide you in taking decisions when it comes to finances. Looking at the high cost of living, the way things are increasing, the prices of items are increasing. There are certain ways to go about saving money, and that's just what we want to look at. And then delve a little into maternity leave and policy in the UK. and how it differs from other countries. So that's why we are here today. So if you are here with us, you are welcome and thank you for joining. So I'm going to start with the maternity leave briefly because I'm currently on maternity leave. I remember I had my first child in Ghana, that's Jovan, and I was entitled to 3 months maternity leave, and then I added some my annual leave, part of my annual leave to my maternity leave. So I had approximately 4 months maternity leave. But in UK here, I have 12 months maternity leave with pay. But I'm going to explain further. Not the whole 12 months is paid in actual sense. All right. You are entitled to 9 months paid maternity leave in the UK and 3 months unpaid if you want. However, you can decide to take all the 12 months maternity leave and spread your 9 months pay for the maternity that's the maternity pay across the 12 months. So that's what I did. So instead of receiving a larger amount each month for the 9 months, you are going to receive a lesser amount for each month for the 12 months. That's how it works. So even though it's good news, it's still not entirely very good. And this is how it affects your salary. Okay, when you're on maternity leave, you receive basic pay. It's not even the full basic pay. It's about 90% of your basic pay for the first 3 months, and then it reduces after that. However, um, when you are working, okay, you do weekends, you get enhancements in the NHS. If you're working in the NHS, you do weekends, you get enhancements. You do holiday shifts, you get enhancements. So it kind of make your salary look a bit heavy at the end of the month. But because you are not working weekends and holidays, your basic salary is really tiny. And you're not getting those full amounts. You're getting 90% of it. Meaning my salary at this moment has reduced drastically. Okay. And the cost of things have also increased.
Please. Yeah.
So it's a matter of how I'm coping with this maternity leave pay and the cost of living. I hope you understand. So currently, at the end of the month, I receive about £1,400 as my salary at the end of the month.
Not too bad.
Not too bad, honestly, not too bad. But
But
if I was working, doing weekends and nights extra, without bank shifts, I could be earning something close to 1,007, 1,008 to 2,000 sometimes, around that range. Okay, yeah, not too bad. But Mercy is now a band 6 nurse, so
hey,
her salary, I don't want to compare to mine. I don't know how we are going to do this comparison properly. So, Mercy, tell us a bit about how much she earned as well, so that we could come back to the expenditure.
so as a single person, I don't have any family to worry about. So that's one advantage. But your bills are higher because if I were married, I would have shared the bills with my partner, you understand? So I pay higher. So I don't think that we earn more. Well, the salary may be slightly higher because obviously I'm band 6, but compared to expenditure wise, I think it would basically be the same thing because I am spending more on rent, on council tax. With council tax, I think it reduces when we are maybe in the house, isn't it? Compared
Yeah.
to funds, yeah,
Yes.
and then with rent as well. So currently, the where I'm living is a 2 bedroom apartment, but it also depends on. I think it depends on where in England you live because
Exactly.
yeah, sometimes you can get a very good apartment for between like single bedroom apartments for between anywhere between 600 to I don't know 700, 800 up and above. But when I started, I think I started as a band four. So when we first arrived, the trust gave us accommodation, okay, and they only gave us for 3 months. And then after the 3 months, we were meant to move to our own apartment. So after the 3 months, the girl I was living with, I think she had a boyfriend at the time, and she was planning to bring him over. So there was no way we could move together again. So she already got her own place and she had paid and everything. So I also had to find my own place. And then luckily for me, I got a place that would say I paid. How much was I even paying then? I think 700 for the
For
two
for a
apartment.
two-bedroom apartment, okay.
But then
Including bills?
without bills,
Wow.
without bills. So I think she had a one-bedroom apartment that cost her, I would say, £675, and I got a two-bedroom apartment that cost me like 700. So in my opinion, it was it was a good deal.
Yes, apparently they are in the same range.
Exactly. So I've always lived here, and as time goes on, inflation is going up. My landlord keeps increasing it as well, but it's
Oh,
not.
really?
Yeah, it's not as I say still compared to how I would have been living in a single bedroom apartment. So with rent wise, I consider myself lucky. But with the bills, water, which I use by myself, electricity, where I live is electricity, so I don't pay for gas and anything. I only pay for electricity.
Electricity.
Council tax, broadband or internet. What else? I think that's basically it. So I think one time I sat down and calculated all my bills. I pay like 110 for council tax. I pay for I pay like £26 for bundle. But why do I keep saying bundle?
You're Ghanaian. Don't worry, I understand.
I pay for like £26 for electricity. How much? Um, what else? Water. I pay
26 for electricity,
sorry 26
for
for
internet.
internet. Internet
Okay,
is
all right.
with electricity. It depends on the usage. So during winter, I use quite a lot because obviously it's cold.
Heating,
So
yeah.
during winter, I'd say over 100. But like during the summer, I use less. I could use £80. You know,
But you know,
70.
we as a family of four, currently with my mother-in-law with us making five, we've not paid up to £200 for gas
Like,
for heating.
mm,
Yes.
yeah.
But
During
well, your electricity includes everything, so it makes sense.
yeah, my electricity includes everything. So during winter, I pay a little, maybe 120 for like myself.
Wow.
Then what else? With water, I think I pay about £24 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
the advantage is that even though I'm even lucky to be band six. Imagine if I was band five, paying all this on my band five salary will be
It
too
will
much.
be hectic, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So if
So
you
band
want to learn how to rise from band five quickly, please watch her videos and how to upgrade yourself as well. Like do other things aside bedside nursing. She has videos on all these topics. Okay.
that
Head to Mhercie's channel and watch them. About about expenditure. Yes, as Messi said, I've been lucky to have my husband around. So he's also supporting. He's working currently three jobs.
three.
Three jobs because I'm staying home full time at the moment.
Wow.
He's working back to back.
Husband of the year.
Husband of the year.
So well, that's really good.
He's working back to back. So he works with a delivery. He works as a delivery driver.
Mm,
He works as a teacher, and he also works in a supermarket. So that's
yeah.
what he's doing at the moment. Yeah. So back to back, back to back. I don't see my husband. I don't see
I
him.
was going to ask you, hasn't that affected like your family time together?
Yes, yes. We don't get to bond. We don't get to the time we get to see each other interact is really limited. And get having the kids around is like all the attention goes on to the kids, the kids, the kids. Yeah. But so expenditure, I would say I will give you yearly expenditure because we pay some of our bills um across for the year, for the entire year. So we pay for something like car tax. We pay it for the whole year because it's not huge. So we just clear it for the year and then you know you are done for the year. Something like water bill, which is also not so much. We pay for the entire year. And then we come to what again? I think these two are the main ones. Then when it comes to rent, the
Mm.
bulk. Okay, now let me give you the actual amount we spend each year, approximately. Did I say yes? Sorry, monthly. Monthly. We pay for the council. We pay for the tax and then the TV tax, TV tax, car
You
tax.
watch live TV?
No, I don't want live TV, but well, they said once you have it, you should pay, so I paid.
No, that's not what. That's not what they say. If you watch live TV, then you pay. If you have like Netflix, Prime, and all this, you don't
They
watch.
said they said they said
And
if you watch live even on your phone, so this live we are doing, if you are watching, yes, that's what they said. The last time they came here to inspect.
that if you're watching live,
Yes,
I mean news, live news. No,
don't
this is
mind them,
your, isn't it? This is your channel.
don't mind them.
But
So yeah, I bought two televisions and I decided to utilize it.
two.
So yeah, so I have two televisions, but it's the same amount. So I pay TV tax and car tax, and then we also pay for our water bill for the entire year. But when it comes to the month, the bulk of our expenditure comes from rent. Okay. But luckily for us, for a two-bedroom house, we pay £500 each month.
Oh, that's really good.
It's cool. It's a
Really good.
cool deal. And I've been here for a little over a year, and I've not received any letter about increment or email about increment whatsoever. So it's the same 500 I'm paying.
Where in England are you? Please let us know.
I'm in Northwest. I'm in the northwest of England. It's one of the areas considered very affordable to live.
How
Yes.
what's the how long does it take you to come to London from there?
I think it should be about 6 hours. Not sure.
6.
Yeah, about 6 hours. It might be even more. It might be more. I don't know. But it's really far. Yeah, it's far. I'm rather close to Scotland, Glasgow, thereabouts.
Ah,
So it's
because I
about 3 hours. It's about 3 hours drive to Glasgow.
the farther you live away from London, the less
The
expensive
cheaper.
the rent.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's
So approximately, I would say we spend about between £1,000 to £2,000 each month for the house each month for the house. Reason I'm giving this wide range is because, like you said, when it's winter, we do a lot of heating, so we pay a lot of bill on gas.
mm,
And then when it comes to electricity, the gas is only for heating, so that's for the hot water and then the radiators.
mm,
That's what we use the gas for. Then electricity is for cooking and then lighting, basically. And then water, I said we pay water yearly, so I'll just take the water out because it's not really huge. We
mm.
pay our broadband, which is about £44 per month, and that includes a deal for our phones as well. So we have like um data allocation to our individual phones aside the entire broadband in the house. Yeah.
Hold off.
And then yes, and then groceries. I included groceries in everything. And then groceries, African shop included, and then supermarket shopping included.
So
All amounts between 1,000 to 2,000 pounds.
how often do you shop in a week?
Well, it depends. It depends, to be honest, but averagely I can say about Twice a week. Let me just say about twice a week. Because most of these things go bad quite quickly. Like the supermarket stuff, most of the items go bad really quickly. So you may have to just keep buying, especially the fruits and vegetables.
Mm.
Almost every time you have to buy fresh ones. That's basically the things we buy often. But aside that, everything else you can just keep buy and keep in the fridge, and then for the entire month and be managing it.
Do you sometimes order out?
Oh no, we don't eat out often. No, we don't eat out often. We spend we eat more from home than from outside. Yeah. I can say for about within a year we can eat out like maybe 4 times. Just four
Okay.
times in an entire year. Yes.
Do you find do you think it's less expensive to cook or to order?
I think it's a two-way thing. It depends on what you are eating or what you are cooking. If you are more into cooking African foods or eating African foods, then it means you are going to spend more. If you are going to eat the local, when I say local, I mean the British foods, then you are going to spend less. Because if you can get pre-cooked food from the supermarkets and all that, and just warm it up and eat it. They are cheaper. But if you want to buy African food, whether from the restaurants or from cooking yourself, it's going to cost you a lot. So I feel like I could be cooking at home, but I could be spending more than someone who is buying McDonald's and
Yeah.
KFC all the time. So the trick here is you try to balance it. Okay, we are Africans. Yes, it's difficult to adjust with the food here, but one thing you can do to help yourself is instead of depending solely on African foods, you incorporate the local into it. So, for example, if you are like if you feel like eating something like fried yam, why not improvise or replace it with fries? And if you don't want to order the fries, you can get fries that's already cut out, or you can
Yeah.
even buy the potatoes yourself and fry them out, like fry them and eat
But
them.
it's different still, you see.
Sure, sure.
It is different. Sometimes you just have cravings that like s- medi your mouth will be doing medi. So you have
No,
to
yeah,
like
I understand. But what I mean is, it
wow.
shouldn't be every day you get it, not all the time. Uh huh.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good then. For me, I tell you, I order in more often because of course it's by myself. Sometimes I just don't feel like cooking or anything.
Okay.
But other times I think more of my cooking is with local rather than like British. I think the things that I'll eat that are British would be veggies, potatoes,
Yes.
you know, maybe noodles or something because but once in a while I crave for that African taste so I can do
Taste.
like
Yes.
I'll go and shop. But are they expensive? The ingredients for these
They
things
are.
are
They are.
like if I go do an like an African shop, African ingredients shopping, I can spend like £40, £50 just getting things like jam, goat meat, and stuff. Almost like 40 or £50. But
Yeah.
that £50, if I want to enter into a supermarket, let's say Sainsbury's or Tesco or something, it would
You carry a whole bag.
yeah, a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, so I've learned to apart from cooking the African ingredients that we have, I've learned to make up recipes based on what I can pick up from the shop
Yeah.
alone. I don't have anyone to say maybe I feel like eating yam. If I was married, my husband would say, "Oh no, let's eat rice today." You understand? But what I'm cooking is what I'm eating.
Please,
And
as we are discussing, if you have personal experience that's about any of these things that is helping you, a personal tip or trick that is helping you, you can share it in the comments kindly. Okay, let's go on. So about clothes, where do you shop?
oh, I shop. online. I shop any and everywhere really. The thing about me is that normally I would not intentionally go out say I'm going to buy clothes or something. If I have something, an event coming up, and I feel like, oh, I need a dress for this occasion, I'll go online. Pretty Little Thing, you know, all those ones. I shop from Shein. I shop from, was it Boohoo? I shop from all those online stores. Sometimes M&S if I'm in town. Even what's the other one called? Primark. Yeah,
Primark.
yeah,
I was in Primark today.
and Primark as well. So I feel like, and I've got clothes that I don't even know what I'm going to use for, because
But
every time
do you shop from brand shops,
like designer shops.
designer shops?
Hey, we could just canoe.
Oh, band six, there's always go.
Legit. Menkoto Louis Vuitton.
Okay, so
Menkoto,
yeah, about clothing, it's similar with me. I use the Shane, the Primark, even Timu. I've tried Timu before. I've tried Timu,
I'm not sure.
and and Primarks and the rest. But for just basic or like casual wear, yes, normally shop from charity shops.
You sure?
And I
Okay.
bet you will get charity shop clothes with tags on them. I've bought certain clothes from charity shops that had the next tag on them. You could actually see that they were brand new, like new clothes, and I bought them for £5.
Mm,
So it depends. Some people claim charity shops in their area are expensive.
mm,
I don't know if because of where I am located, I find charity shops really affordable. My accommodation was unfurnished, and I bought everything from furniture, not everything per se, but like the bulk of the things I used in furnishing this house. I bought them from charity shops. There is
oh,
a
okay.
particular charity shop in my community that sells more like furniture and stuff like that. So I bought most of my things from there. So bed, mattress, I bought all these things from charity shops.
Okay.
And also I want to say this. When I came here as a single person, I feel like if you are single, you have the opportunity to save more before you marry or before your partner joins you and starts you also start bringing in children, whether they're already home or you are now going to have them. I've managed to save about £6,000 from the time I arrived to the time my husband and child joined
Same.
me. Yes, came. So that was within about 6 months. So let's just say I was saving about £1,000 each month. And I was a band three. You were band four. You were lucky. I was a band three. We started from band three.
I think we
So
started by, well,
yes. So I was receiving something around 1,000, 2,004 max.
same, same. When we first arrived, thousand,
Yes. 1,000, 2,004
up
maximum.
1,000 to.
And I managed to
I
save
know
six
we was
thousand pounds.
taxing us, so it used to be, coming from Ghana and what we were receiving to receiving thousands. It used to be so huge in my eyes. It really was, yeah.
Yeah, so I managed to save the £6,000. And that was what I invested into buying, renting the house, finishing the house, and all that. And then we still managed to put some money aside for buying our first car. So after everything, we had about £600 down. And then when my husband joined, he worked for some few months, and then whatever he raised, he added it to the money and bought our first car.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
I don't have a car yet. Yeah,
So
because
our £1,000 to £2,000 includes our fuel and everything for the
mm,
month.
I don't have a car yet because where I live is pretty close to my workplace, like 15 minutes walk to my. So I didn't see the importance of, like, it was even, I didn't even start driving until recently. So I didn't see the importance of buying
We'll
a car.
buy
So
the car. Yeah.
that cost is out.
But
for
if you
now.
are a family person, I will advise you to buy a car. You
So,
need it.
I don't know. I've just been
You
putting
need
it
it
away.
because come on, the stress with getting a bus,
Yeah.
the
Even now,
cold,
because
waiting
sometimes
at a bus stop,
strike,
it's crazy.
they go on strike, frequent strikes and all that. Sometimes I feel like
Yes.
maybe I really do need a car, but I'm happy without that cost now. But I feel like if you're a single person, you can get lots and lots of things done compared to say if you're
Being
married.
yes.
So
Because
because
as it stands now, Jovan just turned 3. So all this while that he's been in school, we've been paying for it as well, which is averagely 120 pound per month. So
that's not bad.
he only does 2 days, 3 hours a day. So that's just for 6 hours a week.
Hours.
I'm telling you, it's £5 per hour. Is it £5 per hour or £10 per hour? What is it? I can't even remember what it is. But yes, we pay 120. We pay approximately £120 for every month, and it's six. He does only 6 hours a day, a week. So he's
Wow.
qualifying in April. He's already 3 now. So from April he qualifies for the free 3 hours. The free 15 hours. So that brings us to the immigration the child benefits for immigrants. Okay,
Yeah.
when a child turns 2 in the UK, they can get 15 hours free childcare. Unfortunately, our visa do not allow us to enjoy this benefits. So unless ours turn 3 years before they can qualify for 15 hours. But a Brit or someone with permanent residency or indefinite leave can can enjoy 30 hours after 3 years. But we will get only 15 hours, unfortunately.
So if you are a national, you get 33 hours. But if you are not a national, 15.
15 hours, yes.
We'll give birth after the
After
indefinite.
nationality.
Don't worry, give birth is
I understand. I bump. I agree. Yes. So that's basically another aspect to look out for. But you see, the advantage for me is right now I'm home and I'm taking care of Jovan. So when I was working and my husband was working, at the time we had only one child. So what we did was we make sure our shifts don't clash.
mm,
So when I'm working, my husband is off. When I'm off, my husband is working. But there were days that we still got knocked out some points, and we had to take him to some family friends around. Yes, and they really took good care of him. But when I came home full time, I've been home for a very long time. I don't know if you may know already. I've been home for a really, really long time. I had it's like I'm taking us back to the maternity, the pregnancy aspect. Let me tell you this, okay? If you are pregnant in the UK, don't be shy. Don't feel bad about it, and don't think it's affecting your work should be like a big problem for you if it's affecting your health. Let me explain this, okay? If your pregnancy is a risk pregnancy, please feel free to let your employer know. Don't hide it. We know how we are as Africans, okay? When we have certain things, especially related to pregnancy. Even when we are pregnant, we don't want anyone to know. Immediately, I got pregnant. It was at work. I tested at work and found out I was pregnant. So I found out at work that day. Everybody found out, and I informed my manager. Okay,
that was
right
quite
from the beginning.
from the yeah.
Yeah, right from the word go, you have to let them know. You have to let them know from the beginning that this is their situation.
No,
because
did
there's
you
something called
did
risk
you go and
assessment.
talk to them, or did you go and say, "Oh, matron, please, I'm pregnant," or how did you break the news to them?
Oh, you can just go. Well, in my in my facility, I can just go to my manager's office and speak with her and tell her, oh, I I just found out I'm pregnant. Maybe I wasn't planning for a baby. You know, over here they plan for babies, most of
Yeah.
them. So even while they are planning for the baby, some of them already speak with managers that, oh, I'm planning to have a baby, or yes, we are looking. My partner and I are looking at having a baby. So the manager already knows before they even get pregnant. But I wasn't planning, first of all. When I found out, I told my manager that this is the situation. I tested and found out I was pregnant, even though I wasn't planning for it. I found out I'm pregnant. And she told me that we are going to do risk assessments and all that. So risk assessment basically assesses your health, the pregnancy, and the work implication on your pregnancy. And I work in ED, and the pushing of trolleys and all that. And then I had a complication as well. I'm not going to mention the complication here, but yes, I had a complication as well. So it was a back and forth, high premises coupled with the complication and all other things. I used to have palpitations. ECG proved that I had issues with the heart when I was pregnant. Though it confirmed it was resolved after delivery.
Okay.
Yes. But when I was pregnant, I had all these palpitations going on and all that. So it was a big deal for me. I was always coming home. I go to work and sometimes I get admitted there. It was hectic. Then finally, we talked. I spoke with my manager, spoke with the GPs, and they agreed to give me sick leave. So I stayed home for about 8 weeks. That's about 2 months before start of my maternity leave. That's why I said when immediately you find that you are pregnant, and when you feel your pregnancy can pose a danger to you and your baby, like the work you are doing can pose a danger to you and your baby, speak with your manager. Some may advise you to start your maternity leave early, but it's for the best. I mean, it's for you and your baby. It's better than, if you really want the pregnancy, it's better than losing it anyway. Okay. So you speak with your manager, they do the risk assessments, and then they find out the right thing for you, and then you go for it. That's one advice I have about the pregnancy aspect. Then when it comes to the maternity leave, it's also entirely up to the policy of the hospital.
Mm.
Not the hospital, I mean the organization, not just hospital per se, the organization. So, for example, if you work in a care home, because it's a private institution, their policy might be different. But when it comes to the NHS policy says currently, before I came, I knew you were supposed to work for 1 year within the NHS before you are entitled to all the maternity pays, the OMPs, and the rest. Yeah, the occupational maternity pay, and then the other ones. But when I got pregnant and I spoke with my manager, I told her, I made it clear to her, I made her understand that money was going to be an issue. So she should let me know whether I'm entitled to maternity pay or not. And she told me I was almost 1 year before I got pregnant. I got pregnant in March, and I was going to be a year old in the trust in June. So I asked her, and she told me, according to the current policy, it doesn't matter how long you've worked in the NHS. Like, if so far as you've started work in the NHS, in the hospital, you are entitled to maternity
You have
pay.
to work for 1 year first.
But you wouldn't get the other one. I don't know whether it's the OMP or the uh I don't remember which one it is. It's the statutory. It might not, I don't think it will be the statutory. It might be the occupational maternity pay, the OMP. Yes. So now it doesn't matter how long you've worked in the NHS. When it comes to the NHS, even if it's you got pregnant on your first day, or even got pregnant before starting work, you could get something small to support yourself. But you know, they also calculate it, they look at your earnings to do the calculation, your previous earnings to do the calculation. So if you've
Mm.
not worked so much, it will affect how much you receive at the end of the month, at the
Okay.
end of each month. Yeah. And so, yeah, when it comes to maternity policy, please check with your organization. I don't know if we have anyone here from a care home who has been on maternity leave or is on maternity leave, who can share his or her experience. Her Well, it can be a man sharing the wife's experience. So yeah, who can share their experience with us as well, so that we see how things are done in other places. But this
Mm.
is how it is in the NHS currently, to my best of knowledge. But when you are also on maternity leave, you have to keep in touch with the with your manager. Okay. So, and then aside that, there's also something called keep in touch days. There are days you can go into work
Mm.
just to familiar, like, uh I don't know how to say this, but like kind of familiarize yourself with things around and all that. Yeah. So that you don't lose your skill, basically. And according to my manager, you can do up to 10 shifts. You don't have to do all the 10, but you can do up to 10. But you're still going to receive basic pay. So whether you choose to do weekend, you choose to do bank holiday, it's
That's
still
still like
going to be
basic
basic
pay,
pay.
not in addition to your basic pay, but basic
No, yes. Because
pay.
it's more like you're helping yourself to keep your skill up and go. You know, nursing is a skill and all that. I don't mind. I've decided to pick some few shifts later. Yeah. So
Hmm, so
that's a little bit about the maternity policy with the NHS side. Anyone with care home experience, kindly share with us maternity leave policy in the care home. You don't need to share the name of the care home, but just the like information about how it's done in the in your
hmm.
facility. Yeah, will be lovely.
How do you feel about going back? Is there a bit of anxiety?
I'm
Have you
anxious. I'm anxious. But let me also say this: always take opportunities and utilize them. Victoria, hi, hello, you're welcome, Victoria. I hope you are enjoying the session. If you have any question, please put it down there. We'll answer it for you. Okay?
please? Your husband has asked your question. Please
Yeah,
answer.
I'll answer him. Please, how much can one save in a year? I'll come to that. I'll come to that. But I want to deal with the policy so that when we move from the policy, we'll not go back again. So if anyone has a question about maternity leave policy as well, feel free to ask me now. Okay. What was I even talking about? I was talking about um taking opportunities. So I knew I was going to stay home for a full 1 year, 12 months. I knew I was going to deal with two babies. It's going to be okay, hold on a minute. At some universities, you can get maternity pay regardless of the duration you have worked. Others will calculate based on the week you got pregnant. Universities, is it students or lecturer? Irene, are you a student or a lecturer?
I read
Or
now.
or or she meant to write
Ah,
university hospitals.
so I think
We'll wait for Irene's response. Let's
if you work,
continue.
then I guess.
So because I was going to work, I was going to stay home for 12 good months. I decided to take the opportunity to upgrade myself. So I started a master's program in January. I knew I was going to deliver in November. So I gave myself December to, put myself together and enjoy the Christmas. And
Hmm.
then started school in January. So
Yeah.
I'm doing a master's program. It's an online program.
Okay.
And interestingly, I got a scholarship. Maybe I'll make a video on how I got
Yeah,
88% scholarship to
that's good.
study to study a master's in international public health or a
Okay.
master's in global public health.
Hmm.
And it's entirely online, self-paced studies, just that your assignments have deadlines and all that. So though it's self-paced, it's regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm affiliated to Liverpool John Moore University.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So yes, my people, I'm actually doing this course with some Ghanaians. So I have some Ghanaians in my class or
Yeah.
in my group. Yeah,
Mm.
it's a nice offer. I'll probably make a video and share the referral link
Yeah.
so that anyone who is interested can join. Irene says just joined from Nigeria. Need to listen before making comments. All right. Oh, that's Victoria. All right, Victoria. Irene says, hi, as a PhD student or lecturer in nursing. Wow, that's interesting. So PhD students can actually can get salaries when they are pregnant. That's nice. Irene, thanks for this information. Wow, we would love to know how you got a scholarship. I will. I will share that information, darling. I'll share that information.
Mm.
Yes, so it's a good offer. I took the opportunity. Staying home for 1 year, Mercy, and doing nothing. I mean, just taking care of babies. I felt like it's not worth it.
Honestly, well,
I not
that's
not that the babies are not worth it,
no, no, no.
but
I know.
just wasting the time. It's
I don't know if, but the plans that I have, I don't want to. I don't want to be caring for babies. That's my personal,
yes,
to. I want to finish whatever I need to do in school before babies. Then I know that I'm staying at home and caring for my
yes,
kids.
and caring for your children.
That's because I don't like the
Mercy
going
is
to
stressful.
the yes.
It's stressful.
Know someone that has done it, and she said it was really, really hard.
You
So
see,
all the
Hosby,
stuff
my
and
husband decided to start teaching because the plan was when he is going to school, he will take the kids to school. And then
mm,
when he closes, he'll pick them up. Not knowing that the times don't match. He is teaching secondary schools, and these kids are in preschool. They start school at 8:45,
mm,
and he's supposed to be in school by 8:30 to start, like, over here they prepare the lesson for you, so you have to go and familiarize with yourself with the lesson before you start teaching,
mm,
right? So now he can't take Jovan to school, so I have to take Jovan to school 8:45, go back and pick him 11:45. So days that he goes to school, I feel like I've just wasted all the day. You take him to school, you come back, and then the next minute you have to go back and pick him up. And I've got the baby, the little one as well. I mean,
yeah, to care for.
luckily for me, I've got grandma here helping. When she leaves, it's a headache. You understand? Yeah, so it's really hectic. If you feel you want to take your time, take your time.
Mm.
Yes, if you feel you want to take your time, then take your time. Honestly speaking,
I don't know, care in UK is very expensive. If you've not
childcare
got
is it's outrageous.
not got family.
For
Help.
now, we haven't taken Jovan to any childcare groups or like child minders of any sort. We've just been managing our shifts and taking care of him.
Yeah.
That's been the system for this while. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. But even with the little he's doing in school, like I said, it's not small money. Just 6 hours and we are paying £120 per month. So you can imagine if he's going for the entire 5 days, full school hours.
Mm.
Outrageous. You can't pay. You can't pay. So fitting this in your roster is really, really difficult. Meaning every time there has to be someone home to take care of the child, regardless. If not, then you should be ready to pay for child minders and all that. Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, we would love to know. Okay, all right. That's this. That's the last comment I read. All right, those who just joined, thank you so much, and I hope you are enjoying it. Feel free to pop your questions. Let's look at Hosby's question. Please, how much can one save in a year? In a year, it depends on you. Okay, this brings me to this apop tip. Okay, this trick. If you are a family in the UK and you are a resident, let's say you came on a work visa. Maybe if you're a student, I may not advise you to do this now. But when you get your residency, like for work especially, please, please, government have this policy, this thing going on. It can be cancelled anytime. Take the opportunity. Lifetime ISA. It's a saving towards your. It's a savings account for your towards your first home or towards pension. I won't talk about the pension aspects. I'm talking about a home. If you're a family buying a home, I think should not be um I mean it shouldn't be too much of a like people will say maybe I won't stay in UK forever, so I don't mind. Please, if you can't buy. The reason is even if you are not able to, even if you don't plan to stay in the UK, you plan to leave. When you are leaving, just sell that house. And the money you will make out of that money can even help with your relocation.
Yeah.
You can sell that house if you are planning to go back to your country. You can use that money to even buy a house in your country and still get balance. I hope you get my point. So if you
Yeah.
have the opportunity, but like take it now, and then even if you don't need it again, sell it out or like do something with it.
Mm.
Or you can even decide to, okay, I'll just leave it for my children. In future, if they want to come back to it, fine. You can
Yeah.
just leave it for your children. So lifetime ISA is a savings account for your first home. My husband and I have lifetime ISAs. So we are all saving towards our first home. You can join the accounts. Open it separately, but you can link together or you keep it separate, however you want it. You can save up to £4,000 every tax year, and then you get £1,000 from government free. So for every £4,000 you save, you get £1,000. What happens is if you're not able to save £4,000 for the tax year, whatever you save, you are getting 25%. So for example, last year I saved a little over £3,000 and I got I think I saved 3,000 exactly and I got 750 interest.
Interest. Yeah.
And this money is interest tax free. You don't pay any tax on it.
I think I saw a video somewhere where they were talking about ways where you can earn money tax free, and
Yes.
like ISAs, pension, and some other ones where so you can actually use this lifetime ISA to save, so
Yes.
that in the event of buying your house, you get tax free money.
Yeah, but the issue is it comes with a condition of using it to buy your first home or towards pension. That is the condition attached. But
Mm.
if you are up to it, why not take the opportunity? You're getting £1,000 free, for
Yeah.
saving £4,000 of your own money. The only
I
thing
think.
is, if you withdraw for any other purpose aside the buying of the house, you lose money. You lose
Yeah.
you lose money. Yeah. So it will strictly be towards that goal.
Mm.
So please, that we are using my husband and I are using that saving method, and we also have joint accounts. So the joint accounts, we said we are starting slow because we have these other responsibilities. So we've set up a direct debit of I think £25. It's not so much.
Yeah.
And then we also have accounts for the kids.
So many responsibilities.
I know, but it's amazing how we are able to navigate all this. I tell you, I always tell myself this. I don't regret relocating to UK because if I were to be in Ghana, I
Mm.
couldn't have done all these things I'm doing.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done all this that
It would
I'm
have been
doing.
a struggle
I
on
don't
your neck.
regret coming to the UK because in Ghana, I can't enjoy 12 months paid maternity
What
leave
way? Which hospital?
to take care of my kids.
Which hospital?
So for a
Mm.
country like UK that values family and all that, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. You see, so yes, we have all these savings going on, and we
Mm.
still manage to have our personal savings in our own accounts.
Yeah.
You get my point. So yeah, I have something small for myself at the end of the month. My husband have something small for himself at the end of the month. And we have our joint accounts. We have the kids' individual accounts where we
Mm.
save about £50 each month, thereabouts.
It's
And
money. Even.
any other money that comes for the kids goes into their accounts. We are not being African parents.
Mm.
Okay. So every money that comes to the kids, it goes directly into their own accounts. So monies we raise from their baptism, gifts we've gotten from birthdays and all that goes into their accounts directly. Yes. So that's another way to go about your savings. You discipline yourself. This is how I want to do it, and then you go about it. That's the best way to go up to do with the savings. And then when it comes to, like we said, buying of clothes and other things, we buy our clothes, like I said, our casuals mostly from charity shops. What I
Yeah.
mean is, even if I buy the designer wear, at the end of the day, I'm going to wear jackets on it. Nobody
Wait,
will see I'm wearing Louis Vuitton.
wait. You with tap,
Nobody will know.
but
Okay,
nobody
so
carry
I'll
sure.
I'll buy my Shane and go away.
Nobody knows. Once you look nice and presentable, nobody will come and ask you, oh, where did you get that? She
Exactly.
so I don't think it matters where you get it, as long as
Yes.
you're comfortable
You are
wearing it.
comfortable and look good in it. Yes.
Please ask questions. So
You mean free 1K? Yes, free
eh,
1K. Free 1K. For saving £4,000. Yes, you get free £1,000 from government. Yes. So that's another way to go about your savings. So let me say, basic averagely, if I divide 4,000 by 12 months, that should be about how much per month? A little over 100, I think, or a little over 200.
I don't
I
know.
don't, I'm not a math guru. I don't know. So
Me
let's
neither.
say let's just say we are saving £200 in there. And then I'm paying for just £50 for one of the kids. And my husband is paying for the 50 for the other kid. And I'm
Mm,
saving, say, 100 for myself. That's about £500 savings each month. Aside that, minus the black tax, that's money you send home. It's a big deal. It's a headache. You know, you have to give daddy something. Then even sometimes your own siblings, you have to surprise them. Especially when they have kids, you just send them coins for their kids. Stuff like that. And my younger sister will stop charging me. She will stop charging me. She will start charging me. So all these responsibilities exist. But I can say that you can manage to save about between 500 to £1,000 depending on how the month goes for you. But as a single person, I know you can save way more than that.
yeah,
Way
you
more
can.
than that.
Like
Yeah.
I said, you can save way more, but like where you are sharing rents, sharing this and that, I am handling all that myself. You understand? So that's the disadvantage.
Advantage.
But
Yeah.
with expenditure, like with your food, you can save a lot from there. But with something like rent, water, and those ones that are already constant, you can't save so much from there. So I think the opposite is for you guys. You can save some from the rent and those things,
But you
but you can
see,
save expenditure and all that.
but I feel like the difference is not so much in the sense that with heating, our two rooms are occupied. So we have to heat the two rooms. As a single person, you can control the rooms you heat.
Mm.
If you are in the hall, you can decide to just warm up the hall and put
Yeah,
the radiators in the other places off.
that's true.
And when it comes to cooking, for example, I use electricity. I'm
Mm.
cooking for four people, four adults. We are currently three adults. I'm cooking for three adults.
And two
In that
children.
case, I'm going to spend more time leaving the the device running. Okay,
Yeah, that's actually.
consuming more electricity. We have lights on in multiple rooms at the same time because this person might be here, this person might be here,
Yeah,
this person might
yeah,
be there. So I feel like we consume more, so we end up paying more. So sharing the bill in a way, yes, we are sharing all right, but it's like we are still using it double in a way. Though it might not be exactly double, definitely it will be
yeah.
better than
Like
someone living alone.
exactly
Yes.
double.
Yes, it's not
So
exactly double.
some some of the bills comes with discounts if you are two people as compared to one.
Vinny's yeah.
You understand?
Vinny's channel wants to know which lifetime ISA is best. Um I use Moneybox. I use
I also
Moneybox ISA. So Okay, hello ladies. Good topic there. Kindly mention the various ISA providers you will recommend for someone living in the UK.
I mean, I
Uh
use actually that's the
you
only
use
one.
what?
I use Moneybox as
Yeah,
well.
I use Moneybox. That's the only one I know, to be honest. That's the only one I know, Vinny. But I know there are other ones. I don't know if is the I think Vanguard is SMP 500 if you want to do investments. That's Vanguard. But when it
Also,
comes to lifetime ISA, I use Moneybox. Thanks. You're welcome, Vinny. Then Felix says, Madam, please, how much is your worth? I think your value is 30K, excluding your personal savings. 30K in India, yeah, towards 2 to 3, 4, 5 years, old, bruh. Hey, 30K pa. No, I mean UK is not a bad place to make a living. UK is not a bad place to make a living. See, the free healthcare, it's worth it. Like, I mean, I salute free healthcare in UK.
so,
Imagine me going to give birth.
did you spend anything during your maternity?
Oh, that's
Like,
what I was going to talk about. Not a dime. Not a dime. The
no,
only the only I even got, when you get prescriptions in UK, you pay. You pay for prescriptions. Like when you are giving prescriptions to go and buy a drug, you have to pay for it. I was given prescription exemption certificate as a pregnant woman to exempt me and the baby from for um paying for prescriptions from a certain period during the pregnancy up to when the baby is 1 year old. Or is it? I think it's 12 months after the due date.
that's good, isn't
So
it?
yes, so the only thing I was buying was Gaviscon for heartburns. So that
Mm,
one, I normally don't take prescriptions. I just go to the pharmacy and I buy it myself. Those were the things I was usually spending on.
mm,
But everything else was free. I had
mm.
ECG, monitored ECG. I had ECG on my chest. I stayed with it in my house for 24 hours. I paid nothing for it. I had ultrasound scans, several of them because of the complication I talked about. I had developmental scans, several of them. I paid nothing for any of these things. Like
That's
every single thing was free. Irene says in Scotland, we don't pay for prescription. Wow. Bessie,
we there
Scotland.
we go.
Scotland is calling.
We there but
Scotland is calling.
I don't. The payment isn't a huge money. Like you don't pay for individual medicine. You pay it together.
Yeah,
And so, like, say if you were prescribed antibiotics and something else, so many, you can pay like £14 for the whole lot. So it's not like
yeah.
you pay individual money for. I had a friend that came into the UK and she was like, "Oh, I thought healthcare is free. Why am I paying for prescription?" And stuff for it because it was so
Prescription is not free.
complicated.
And the truth of the matter is, it's not that it's not free for us because we are immigrants. It's not free for even some of the citizens. It depends on your situation.
Yeah,
You only get free prescription on certain
yeah,
situations.
yeah.
Yeah, so this one has nothing to do with immigration status at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell
So
them
the
your husband had free toast after you gave birth.
was that the hospital or where?
At the hospital, yeah, they give us breakfast and lunch and dinners. Yeah, you get free food as well. You get free food as well. In fact, the reason I'm not enticed to relocate to USA is because of the free childcare in UK. I mean the free healthcare in UK. Yeah, it's lovely because health is very important. Health is very important.
So after your birth, I heard sometimes health visitors come and inspect your house, how the baby
They even
is, and
went to my bedroom.
yeah, they inspect those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So have they been to your house?
Yeah, they've been. They used to come quite frequently when we were fresh, and then it reduces over time as the baby gets older. So yeah,
Mm.
they've been. They came on the first day, I think. I mean, the day after we were discharged, I think they came, and then they came 3 or 4 days later, something of that sort. And then they come and weigh the baby, check the progress, ask questions, and then they also check where the baby sleeps. That's if you give them permission. They'll check where the baby sleeps. So they advise that the baby sleep in their own cots and not with you on the bed. Yeah, all those things. So they just come around and check them. And then when they discharge you, they sometimes refer you to something, I don't know if they are play group or child care groups or something like that. You can go to them for something like weighing that we do in Ghana. You can just go there. If you need them to weigh the baby, it's not a must, but if you need them to weigh the baby, they'll weigh the baby for you. But we still have a health visitor who comes around. Even Jovan, who is 3, they come around to check on him sometimes. Yeah.
That's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. And you get all this for free, Mercy. Absolutely no fee at all. And these people are so amazing that they come, they interact with you even after they've left. Sometimes they call to check up on the kids. It's lovely.
Mm.
It's so nice. Uh, Please, I hope with the pregnancy benefits you got because of your work type and it was after getting your ILR. No, I don't have ILR. I I am on a skilled worker visa and I have restricted work and all that, just like most of you. Okay. I don't have ILR. I don't have indefinite leave. I got a benefit. It wasn't really pregnancy. Are you talking about the maternity exemption certificate? It's for everyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your
Your work.
immigration status. Yes, you are exempt. It doesn't matter your work, whether you work in health or not. You are exempt from paying for prescription when you are pregnant. You know, WHO has this maternal death reduction and all that. So I think they do these things to encourage people to go for their prescriptions, like pregnant women to go for their prescription to cut down on maternal death. Because let's say you've given me the prescription, I don't have the money to go and pay for it, and something happens, like it goes in a way against the country in a whole. Yeah, so they do. In my opinion, this is personal opinion. I've not done any research on this. I'm
Mm.
just saying it based on thinking. All right, that's my opinion. That they do this to cut down on some of these things, maternal and child mortality. So, Mercy, tell us about. Just give us a gist about how you managed to rise up so quickly. Is it because you are? Does it have anything to do with the fact that you are single? When did you do any courses?
I don't personally. I don't think I rose up quickly because I was in my post for 3 years. So I was in the same ward I started in when I came to the UK. It's a rehab ward. I remember when I first started, and I initially I was meant to be in a medical ward, and then when they started to allocate us, they sent me to a rehab ward. And in Ghana, I never did rehab, so I emailed our human resource. What's her name? I emailed her like, I've never done rehab, and from the letter you sent me, this is not where I'm meant to work. She was like, oh, it doesn't really matter. I still with the trust, and that you go there and start working. Then, if you want to change it later, when once there's a job opening, you can apply. And the whole thing sounded weird to me because if it's the same hospital, why must I wait to have a job opening and then reapply like someone that's applying from outside the hospital? Anyway, so I decided to stick with my rehab ward, and I started there as band 3, went to band 4, and then after OSCE, I got to band 5. So I worked in band 5, I say for 2 and something years.
Wow.
And yeah, and then I applied. There was a band 6 position, and I applied. So I got it actually because I had been in the ward for like over 2 years, and based on my work ethic, and I think how I related with people really. Because initially when I came, I was a quiet type. You wouldn't catch me putting my mouth in people's conversation. I would just chalk my one corner and eat my food and go away. And a lot of my colleagues used to be like, "Oh, she's so quiet. She doesn't like talking to people, blah blah blah."
I
You
remember
know, but
you said they said you're on a spectrum.
yes. I remember once I got comfortable and more confident in my work, I started to talk more. And then I think that made people get to know who I really was. So when the position came up, like I think I was a fit for the job. One tip I'll give to anyone that wants to say climb up is with your personal relationship with, your colleagues, and proving to, I think, your bosses that you know your work and you know your patient. Yeah. Because one time we had this meeting, I think it was a board round, and the physiotherapist was saying something, and I remember reading the patient's notes, knowing the patient, I was like, that's not what it says in the notes. So I stood up for my patient. I remember my matron was so proud. She came to me, she's like,
Wow.
"Really for your patient." I didn't think of it as a big deal because, but then it was something that really impressed her. So proving or like showing to people, you know your job, you know what you're about. You're not just coming to give medication and go home, is an advantage for you when it comes to interviews and all that. Because remember, they are the ones going to interview you.
Yeah.
So if you live anyhow, you're fighting with everybody. Everybody knows, oh, this person is lazy and blah blah. Once there's a job opening, they may not even consider you because everyone is human. Based on what your matron may hear you about your work ethic, may even make them not consider you to give you the post. So I think most of it boils down to your work ethic and knowing your patients and doing your work diligently. And I didn't have any masters, or I didn't go to school. Most of my qualifications were in-house trainings, mentorships, and all those things.
But
And
you didn't do any special like short course or anything of that sort.
no, most of my courses were in-house mentorship, those online trainings and all. It's not until recently that I said, okay, let me go to school. Let me add something here. But that was post getting the band six. So after I got the first band six position, I was like, it's time to move on, really, because that'll make it 3 years of being in one particular ward. And like I said in my videos, if you are in a particular position for a long time, people get very comfortable with you, and I don't know, you yourself get too familiar with the job, so you may sometimes end up cutting corners. Oh, I know that this always happens when I do this. Or so it's always good to like change your job. It's always good to try new things because within these 3 years, I feel like I should have actually left the ward a long
Long
time,
ago, yeah.
find something else. Maybe that would have pushed me to specialize in a particular field or something. So after 3 years, I thought about it and I was like, okay, this is the highest I can go, unless maybe I want to become the matron. Because from band six, band seven, band eight, unless maybe I want to become that. But I personally do not
Don't
fancy.
plant that, yeah.
Yes. So I'm like, I have to move out of this world. I have to try something else. So there was a job opening as well for virtual nursing. And this is something new my trust started. I know that other trusts have already started it and it's working really well for them. But my trust has, I think they started it in December 2023. So it was quite new.
New, yeah.
I was a bit skeptical about it in the beginning when they started because it was out of hospital care and you needed to learn how to drive, visit patients and all that. And I didn't know how to drive then, so I was like, no, this isn't for me. But then there was a job vacancy that did not require you to know how to drive,
Right.
and it was monitoring from an office, and had been by the patient side all these 3 years and even way back in Ghana as well. So I was like, this would be perfect as a change for me. So I applied to that particular job and then God willing I had it. So this is a whole new, it's not band seven, it's still band six, but it's a different, it's not clinical, it's more communal
Clinical. It's not
now.
bedside medicine.
it's not bedside nurse, and you understand. And it's like, and I like it because it's like a innovative something that is happening. I personally feel like virtual world is going to be the future of nursing. Like the world is advancing, AI is coming up, new things are coming, software are coming now up every now and again. So with virtual world, like with my role that I'm working on, we have these devices that we call current health. So they are like Apple watches, okay, that you wear. But this time they wear it around their arm. So if you have somebody that is in the hospital, say they are on antibiotics for like 7 days, you can discharge them home on day two, or even the first day, so that to have the rest of their antibiotics at home.
And they can
Okay,
have space.
they can, yeah, to take someone that needs care. So it helps with discharges and like hospital avoid. And somebody is home, they don't want to go into the hospital. They can
That's
still be.
interesting.
So it's like a ward outside of the hospital.
Yeah.
A ward outside the hospital. And with those devices, I think they're very innovative. They take your reading every second. They take your blood pressure, they take your heart rate, your respiration, your temperature. So every second it's reading. And it sends over those readings to us every 15 minutes. So we have like a dashboard where like you are monitoring the person. So I know that maybe Bridget is at home, she's very unwell, these are what her readings are saying. So if I'm concerned that, oh, this reading is quite low or is quite high, I can video call you on that dashboard and speak with you, ask you, oh, how are you doing today? Have you eaten? I see that your heart rate is high. What's going on? Are you upset? Something like that. So it's more technical, which I really enjoy compared to bedside nursing. And if you're watching me now, I'll advise you to move away from bedside. I always say move away from bedside nursing. I'm not saying don't do bedside nursing.
If that's what you love, keep to
It's
it.
always that
But
it's
try to progress.
yes, it's always good to start as a bedside nurse personally. Unless maybe it's, yeah, like you are right, it's your passion to remain a bedside nurse. But even if you are remaining a bedside nurse, explore other
Yes.
bedside options. You understand? But
Yes.
if you're someone that loves tech, software, and like you can consider virtual world as well, which I'm really loving.
I can see that. Oh, thank you so much, Mercy. You've opened our eyes. Oh,
Yeah.
we have to rethink. We have to rethink.
Oh, I'll say one thing about nursing in the UK is that it's broad. There are so
Yes.
many specialties. There, there are even like I was watching TikTok the other day and someone talked about project manager or consultant or something. You can still be under NMC and be like a project manager or something, and still have your
Mm. I
and
still
still have.
have your pin.
Yes, so apart from bedside nursing, there are so many things that you can still do under NMC,
Yeah.
your PIN, that is not necessarily like nursing. Maybe
Yeah. I
apply.
also want to say this. People should be checking emails that employers send to them, like especially the circulars. Some of us, when we see that it's a circular, we just scan through and ignore it.
Yeah,
But my trust, for example, I've seen multiple times they sending emails about, like, more like, my trust has a BAME policy, that's Black, Asian, minority, ethnicity, favoritism thing going on. Like, not favoritism, but I mean, they want to include these groups. Like, they want us to feel comfortable. All
yeah.
right. So I've seen emails about preceptorship and leadership trainings. I was planning on joining one preceptorship training before I found out I was pregnant. That was what helped, like, stop me. And then I decided to rather go after the master's program. So
I
they
think
turned
with
out
my,
this.
I think with
Pardon?
my once when you join my trust, I think once you join, they let you go through preceptorship. I think it's automatic.
No,
I'm
like, this is like a training for you to become a preceptor.
Ah,
so that you
okay.
can train others. So you
Okay.
see, this is also a way to upgrade yourself. You
Mm,
see, so if you read it, if the email comes and you read and you're interested,
mm,
they tell you how to go about the trade, the application and all
yeah,
that. Sometimes they'll give you a contact person,
yeah.
contact the person directly, and then they'll help
Mm,
you out. You see, I feel like some of us are not taking advantage of it. You
mm,
remember I told you my trust, I hardly see people progress, like moving from band 5 to band 6 and all that. Like my personal observation.
yeah,
But I feel like maybe because they are not taking advantage of some of these things.
yeah.
Because maybe they will prefer someone who has done this to someone who haven't done that. They are. I've also seen. They also sent some time ago leadership training, and this one it's not even for the trust. It's like an outside program, but they
Mm,
organize it for international nurses in the UK, and international nurses and midwives in the UK.
mm,
So it's like leadership and leadership management stuff. So if you are interested in leadership positions, you can take advantage of some of these programs, okay?
mm,
And even if you are not able to use the certificate immediately, I always say the certificates don't rot. They don't
mm,
go bad. They don't expire. Some certificates do expire, but I mean, some of these courses they last for they are like a lifetime training, like thing that you do. You can use it later in a different application, even if it's not in nursing, it could be useful somewhere else. So when you see some of these things, you take opportunity. Pregnancy has really limited some opportunities for me because I remember after my aim training, that's
mm.
my AIMS training. I don't know if you know the AIMS training. Sorry, my code is getting out of hand. After my AIMS training, the trainers told asked me. I was pregnant then. I was very It was my early trimester, my early days. They asked me whether I wanted to join them for the training, like to be a trainer, because they were impressed with my the practical aspects. They were impressed. I was ready to take it because I asked my husband. I was so happy. After pregnancy humbled me and I couldn't do anything again. But it's something I still want to pursue when I start work. I want
Yeah.
to contact the people in charge. I just hope they don't change the people.
Mm,
And then I'll just contact the people in charge and see how to integrate myself into it. I will just do it as a voluntary service, like nothing for it. So maybe my off days, if they have training, I'll just pass through.
yeah.
And I was told before I can do it, I have to be trained myself. So I have to join few other trainings and then later go into it myself. And it was the aims practicals was easy for me because I had I was working in ED and we've been doing this assessments, A to B assessment every day. Like it's an everyday thing. So
Yeah.
you see, it just came naturally to me. It was quite easy. They
Mm,
were really impressed and asked me to join them. It's an
yeah.
opportunity I'm looking at. So
Mm,
some little opportunities too. They offered. I could have said no. Oh, my work is overwhelming and all that. I have kids and all these other responsibilities all over
mm.
my head. But it's something I really want to do. I really want to take
When,
advantage.
when opportunity comes, seize it.
You grab it.
Seize it.
Grab it. Yes.
Mm.
So our life is going long. I don't know if there's anything anyone wants us to discuss, but maybe we could also bring it to an end and probably have a part two on your channel.
It
Because
was.
there's a lot to talk about, even with the policy and the savings and all that. The savings aspects with the buying of the house, the lifetime ISA alone might not be enough because it's limited. You can only save 4,000 and get 1,000, so that's 5,000. So in 2 years, you're getting 10,000. If you want to buy your house within 2 years, 10,000 might not be. It's not
Yeah.
enough. So you could have other savings accounts but not lifetime ISA because you can only have one lifetime ISA each tax year.
Yeah.
Okay. So you may not be able to open another lifetime ISA, but you can have other ISAs like there's regular savers accounts and all those other ones. It's a lengthy there's a lot to talk about, but we can't talk about it all in this video. Like in this live
Like,
session alone. We have to bring some another time, else we'll finish people's data. So let me read this last comment. Irene says you can check on NHS Leadership Academy. I think that's the one. To enroll on leadership courses like Edward Jenner and Florence Nightingale training courses. Yes, that's the one. That's the one they sent to us. Yes, I remember. Florence, I remember the Florence Nightingale very well. Yeah.
I've done a
They're
couple of
stepping up for band 6 and 7s. Oh, I see. Thank you, Irene. Thank you for sharing this information. All right. So, Messi, anything else for us?
uh, all in all, there are disadvantages of being single and married. Like I said, if you're single, you live alone, you've got your freedom, but the bills can sometimes be overwhelming. But if you're married to, your bills are going to go up, but then you have someone to share it with. So I think it depends on what your circumstances. I wouldn't say go and marry or don't marry or something because of anything. Wherever you find yourself in UK, try to maximize your opportunities. And career wise, try to enroll in as many courses as possible, like the step that Irene has given us. Even if even if you feel like you're not going to need the course now or the certificate now, one day it may help you get a job that you want. Yes. So I'm grateful to everybody that has joined. Also, once you leave here, check out my YouTube channel as well.
Yes, please do. We beg, do.
Oh,
Okay. She has great
but
content.
oh,
We
for
we
you,
both have great content.
uh,
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of subscribers, but yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry.
don't worry,
We have great content. Please follow her for me, okay?
don't
And if you're
worry.
also not following me yet, kindly
Yes,
subscribe.
subscribe to Bridget. And thank you
Okay,
for your
so my last words, as much as you are trying to do you, please try as much as possible to cut down on certain things. Cut down on the black taxing, like people always asking you for money and you feeling guilty because our background. I know most of us here are from the black community. People asking you for money and you always feeling guilty if you're not able to give them anything. If you continue, my dear, you can't save a dime. You can't save a dime. Yeah, I'll leave a link to Mercy's channel after the video. I'll leave it in the description box. Or can I think I can add it in the comments, can't I? No, I can't.
let
I'll
me
add it
see.
later. Oh, I can't. I don't know. Yeah, let me just do this. Mercy, can you yourself add it to the comments for us, please? You can go black. It doesn't matter. Just go and copy the link for us. All right, let me go on. So, as much as you are doing you, please try and cut down on certain things. I'm not saying don't live your best life, but for example, if you are going on vacation and you can do Airbnb, why not do Airbnb rather than doing hotels? That's one thing you can do. Okay, if you want to go on holidays at the beginning of your stay in UK, instead of going for vacations outside UK, why not do it? Why not do internal for a start? Like just visit the small areas around, and then gather money rather. When you find your feet, when you have a good standing, you can travel out to anywhere. I feel like it's more lovely to travel out when you finally get your indefinite leave. It's less stressful. Okay, even though you can still travel to other countries with your BRP. I mean, when you get ILR by 5 years, you've saved enough, you've settled, you are doing good for yourself. You can go to places. And then when it comes to the designer wares, you can also cut down on buying designer wares and stick to the other less expensive areas for shopping. It's one thing you can do. Aside that, yeah, you also control things like childcare. Okay, if you're a couple, I know we all came here to make money. Our minds are made up. We are solely concentrating on making money. But let's make time for our kids. One, because so that we don't lose them. Okay, we don't lose them to the system. And then two, so that we get to bond better with our kids. All right, we get to train them the way we want them to be, like the way you, the parents, want them to be, so that they don't spend too much time in schools and the rest. All right. Paying fees is expensive. If your child is not eligible for free childcare, if you want, and you still want them to go to school, you can regulate it the way we are regulating. You can do maybe 3 days a week, 2 days a week, so that you cut down on costs. All right. That's another way to go about childcare. And then you regulate your shifts in a way that you don't also have to give your kids to someone to take care of all the time. They may not complain, but it might not be a nice experience for the person. That way, you are inconveniencing that person as well. Okay. Messy. It's like you're frozen. Were you able to share your link? Can you
I
add your link in the comments?
I'm trying to sort it out. Just a second, yeah.
All right. Okay, then. Let me just keep on. So, yes, don't try to leave your kids with people all the time and inconvenience them whilst you are busy working. Okay. Just go regulate, plan with your partner, your husband, and then run your shifts. But if you're a single person with a kid, that's where the challenge comes in. Okay. But even that, if your work do not require you to be at work 24/7, please make time for yourself. Let's say you are contracted for 40 hours. You can decide to do your basic 40 hours and then spend time with your child. That's another way to go about things. But it's like we are too concentrated on making huge sums of money. But don't forget, the more money you are making, also, you are paying more tax. So you can cut down on some of these things. And it might help you. It might help you to save. And don't forget my lifetime ISA trick I've given you. If you want my referral link for the lifetime ISA also, I'm happy to share with you. All right. So that I will
Bring
take you directly
that.
to the app I am using for my lifetime ISA savings. Questions are so welcome whilst we
Do you
wrap
know
up.
that I saw this video where the guy was saying that you don't you don't have to work, you don't pick up more shifts. No, it says you don't save more by picking more shifts,
Yes, you
but
don't.
investment. So my advice to everyone would be like, don't overwork yourself. There are so many ways of making money in the UK without necessarily working extra bank.
Yes.
Okay, try this ISA, try uh stocks and what's it even called?
Shares.
Stock and shares. Yeah. Try other side hustles rather than spending all of your time in the UK. I always say that before you get your ILR, the reason you're in the UK is with your license.
Yes.
So yes, anything that will risk your license, stay away.
Yeah, and let me say this. I mentioned my husband is working 3 jobs. He actually tried to quit the supermarket, but they said they kind of spoke with him. I don't want to use the word pleaded with him, but they spoke with him to reconsider. So they've drastically reduced his hours. They've drastically reduced his hours. They said at least he should just pass through Keke for them to see him. So even though he's doing 3 jobs, in actual sense, he's just doing 2 jobs. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, working too much is not going to solve the problem. You should be strategic about it. Um, Mercy, how far with the link?
So I've just I don't know why I couldn't chat there, but I've put it on there now, guys.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone. And
Yeah, we really appreciate you. We appreciate your time, your efforts, your contributions. Vinny, Irene, and Felix, all those who put their comments there, well, them. Thank you all so much. That's my brother.
as your brother,
Thank you. Waldemar is my brother.
oh,
Thank you all so
thank
much. God
you.
bless you all. We'll meet again on Mercy's channel. Bye bye.